Hey y'all, so today I want to do the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when carrying a firearm. Now this is going to be more geared towards people just starting out, but it might help you even if you've been carrying for a little while. Let's get into it. Now before I get into the video, I want to say if you like the content, feel free to sub, share, like, all that stuff, comment. It really helps out the channel, helps me fight the algorithm, and it doesn't really cost anything. Now, if you're looking for some cool discount codes, down below is a list of the companies that support us. They give us discount codes to the viewers, so be sure to go check that out. Some cool stuff. Anyway, into the video. So, the 3 biggest mistakes people make when carrying. Again, simple list, but good solid knowledge. The first one is they don't use a holster. So often you see this, especially with if you're looking at pocket carry or maybe tucking a gun in your waistband. You'll see people that do not use a holster or don't think they need a holster, or maybe they use some redneck, something, stick it in a sock. No, none of that. So basically, what the thing is if you're carrying a gun, you really want to have a holster regardless of how you carry. Holsters protect your firearm. They keep it in an upright position, easy to draw. They keep the trigger guard covered so you don't have to worry about a negligent discharge. They keep lint and stuff off the gun. They keep sweat off the gun. They just are a better overall way to have a firearm on your person without, running the risk of anything happening to the gun or happening to you from the gun, from something happening. Holsters, there's a ton of different options out there. There's holsters in every price range. If you're looking at not getting a holster, look at it this way. You want to protect your investment, right? You just bought this brand new $5, $6, $7, $800 firearm you're planning to carry. Protect it with a $50 holster. Trust me, it's worth it. So that's number one. Number two is they don't practice. Now, when I say practice, I mean practice, train, whatever you want to call it. People don't go to the range, and this is actually probably the most common of all the things on this list. Is so often I see people, they go get their permit to carry, they start carrying their firearm, but they never go and shoot it. I've known multiple people who have bought a firearm, loaded it, holstered it, and gone and carried it and never went and shot it once, not even knowing if the gun functions. And yes, if you're wondering, guns do come from the factory defective. They do come from the factory with broken firing pins. They do come from the factory with issues. I have had several guns that have had to go back for factory repair, or when I've cleaned them, I've found that, there's metal shavings and stuff in the gun. Something, something that you should really, really do when you get a new firearm and you're planning on carry is go and make sure it functions correctly. And then on top of that, you should keep practicing with it. I'm not saying you have to go and take some course, although a training course is very good for learning how to defend yourself with your firearm. Learning how to use a tool. At the end of the day, a firearm is a tool, but learning how to use that tool in the most efficient way to protect yourself and the people around you, your loved ones, all that. So practice with your firearm. If you're unsure, maybe consider taking a training course. There's a bunch of good courses out there. Obviously they're a little more expensive than going to the range. I know going to the range nowadays, it can be kind of expensive, but learning to use the firearm, learning to know that the firearm is in good working order, it's worth it. It might just save your life someday. So that is number two. Number three is, and this is something that is most important, I would say. We had the one that's most common. We had the one that, seems to happen with brand new owners. Now we have the most important, and that is you need to be the better person. You need to be the bigger man, the better person, the better, whatever, as far as when you're out in public and you deal with, people, right? And trust me, as someone that I worked retail for 13 years, so I know all about dealing with the people. It can be stressful, it can be annoying, it can make you want to lose your cool and just, flip out on them, call them whatever you want to call them. As the person carrying the gun, as the person, you know, you've decided to basically have the ability to protect yourself in, you know, just about every situation. You need to be the bigger person. You need to be the person that walks away from the person screaming at you. You need to be the person that doesn't get upset because the Karen, you know, flipped you off. You know, be the bigger person. Don't be the person that starts the fight. Don't be the person that starts a gunfight. You know, this is something, uh, you know, I don't broadcast, you know, for several years I had a permit to carry. I didn't broadcast it, but every once in a while I would get into discussion with someone, and you would get so many people that just felt like a permit to carry meant that, you know, if somebody in traffic flips you off or honks at you, that you can pull out your gun and start waving it around. That is absolutely, most certainly, the quickest way to get put in jail. Um, a license to carry a firearm, the ability to carry a firearm. A lot of states are going to constitutional carry. You know, when you carry a firearm, all that means is that you have the ability to stop someone who is threatening you with deadly or near deadly force. That is all that means. So, you know, be the bigger person. Don't start fights. Don't get into fights. And if you can get out of a situation, not saying you have to retreat, you know, so I know some people, I'm not retreating, I'm not backing down. You know, that doesn't mean you have to retreat and run away from a fight. But if you can get out of a fight, if you can avoid a fight, it'll save you a lot of time, a lot of headache, and a lot of sitting in a courtroom, possibly a jail cell, in the long run. So be the bigger person. You know, make sure to go and practice with your firearm and get yourself a good holster. Those are 3 tips that will really help you out and have a much more enjoyable experience when you go out and about in the world and roam the wild wastes with your firearm strapped to you. So that's my video. If you like it, feel free to comment down below, you know, tips and tricks you have for concealed carry, things that you abide by, and has this helped you out or not? And have a good day.